What is up, people? Welcome to another video. If you're new here, I'm Johnny the G. This is my second channel, so not my main channel, but could potentially be my main channel in the future. In today's video, I've compiled the most asked questions about Toowoomba, and here is a list of the topics in this video right here. Yeah, we're just going to go over them. We're going to walk around Toowoomba a bit, check out some of the main places, and answer all these questions for you. I've been here 8 years now, 9 years I think. And I really like it. So if you're thinking about coming here, moving here, or if you already live here and you might have some, cues about these questions, you might not like my answers, leave me a comment below. Also leave a like on this video so more people like yourself can see it. Anyways, let's go have a look. So guys, if you haven't seen my first video on Toowoomba, definitely go check in the link below. I had a different type of video of what it's like living in Toowoomba, so that'll answer a lot of questions. The questions in this video are a little bit more detailed and more to the point. So if you want to check out that video, definitely look in the link below. And it's a bit windy today, so the camera might pick up some wind. Anyways, let's get into the questions. All right, let's start this video off with general curiosity. Why is Toowoomba called the Garden City? Essentially, Toowoomba is packed with many parks and just lifestyle areas. Loads of parks here. I think there's like over 150 parks and recreational areas. Most of them probably aren't the best, but a lot of them are quite good, and the council does do quite a good job of maintaining them. As you can see in the background, everything's mowed. The trees always cut. There's pretty nice flower beds and all that type of stuff around. To go with that question, what is the Carnival of Flowers? So to go with the Garden City vibe, Carnival of Flowers is a festival that happens here, or carnival, it's a festival. Time of year where the flowers are just booming. There is flowers all over the city, pretty much in every park, and yeah, pretty much is why it's called the Carnival of Flowers and the Garden City, both in one question really, one answer. There's just flowers everywhere and it looks really nice, pretty, and a lot of people come here to see those flowers. Final question in this general curiosity: is Toowoomba a good place to live? I probably should have put this question at the end just because it's kind of like a mainstay question, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think it is. I think Toowoomba is an awesome place to live. I've enjoyed my life here so far, the last 9 years, or 10 years, start to forget, but it's a really nice place to live. I'm sure we'll get more into that as these questions go on. So this right here behind me is Parkinson, probably one of the more less looked at areas of Toowoomba as far as suburbs are concerned. Most people don't want to be here. There's a lot of housing commission here, but I can't really judge it. I've never lived in this area, but it looks alright. Let's move on to the next few questions. Righto, nature and attractions is our next segment. What are the best places to get a good view? I'm at Mount Lofty at the moment. It's a pretty good view of the city, and you can actually see down into the escarpment that direction too. It's actually recently been done up here, which is pretty nice. There's like all seats and stuff, and nice little walking trail here. I don't know how far this goes, but yeah, the best views, picnic point, Tabletop Mountain is pretty good if you want to walk up there. It's quite a tough walk sometimes, and Mount Peel's actually really good too, over near Westbrook. I believe Westbrook's still a suburb of Toowoomba, I'm pretty sure. But those are the three I would recommend. Another one is Prince Henry Heights. Really good views of everything, looks awesome. So there's your best views. Best things to do in Toowoomba, pretty much go around to the parks. Best family things, they're all free obviously. Head around to the parks. Yeah, I don't know, picnic point's pretty good. There's quite a lot of playgrounds and stuff there as well. Nice walking trails. There's a lot of outdoorsy stuff to do here, mainly like hiking. Mountain biking is huge. Some of the best trails in all of Australia here in Jubilee Park, and Mount Peel is pretty good too. So they're some of the major things to do. Yeah, there's just a lot of, you know, nature stuff really in Toowoomba. There is obviously your bowling alleys and your golf courses and stuff, which are all really good too. But yeah, real big outdoorsy place. So there you go. That is this segment. Righto. While I continue on this trail, we'll move on to living, you know, climate and weather, stuff like that. Is the weather good here? Yeah, it's pretty damn good all year round, as far as heat and coolness. In the summer, it gets pretty hot, but it's not too bad. Yeah, it's actually pretty good if you're at the top of the range, whereas if you're down the range, it gets pretty damn hot and humid. It's pretty bad. But in Toowoomba itself, really good. I think the weather up here is awesome. Winter, very cold. We get around below 5 for most of winter for about 2 months, I think, maybe 3 sometimes. And the winter is pretty cold. You definitely will need heaters, proper long clothes, stuff like that. It gets pretty cold here. It doesn't snow, but it is definitely very cold. But as far as the heat's concerned, not that bad. It's pretty good. Not humid, which is unique. I think that's like the main part I need to stress. It's not humid here. It's actually really nice. So yeah, some climate, pretty good. I rate Toowoomba climate. All right, big question. This one, is Toowoomba safe? Absolutely. I think Toowoomba is one of the more safe cities or towns around Australia. Having been from Townsville, Townsville's a lot less safe than here. Let's be real. I've never had any issues here in Toowoomba. A lot of people will say there's a lot of crime here, but I've spoken a lot about crime in my other videos, so you can go watch that if you want to learn about that. I'm not going to say it again. It's not that bad. It's not what everyone thinks it is. It's all right. Honestly, do I feel safe here? Absolutely. I don't feel like my house is going to get broken into and robbed. I don't think I'm going to get robbed. I certainly don't feel like I'm going to get pulled out of my car and mugged or anything like that, held at gunpoint, held at knife point, whatever, all that silly shit. I think Toowoomba's pretty safe, so yeah, that's just my opinion. All right, is Toowoomba expensive to live in? Not necessarily. It's pretty decent. The rent here is around $450, $500. You can get cheaper spots, cheaper places a little bit out of town. You can get a 3-bedroom house / unit for, I think $350 would be probably the lowest. If you go out of town a bit more, obviously you can get cheaper. But in town, you're looking at $400, $500 for rent a week for a pretty decent place, to be fair. Yeah, like a new modern place. It's not that bad. As far as getting around, prices, obviously everything's pretty close together, so you're not going to spend too much fuel. Compared to Brisbane and Sydney and stuff like that, super cheap. Let's just be real. Alright, is there public transport in Toowoomba? Yep, we have buses, no trains, just buses, and they pretty much go everywhere. They run every day except for Sundays, I'm pretty sure, and they go, yeah, all around the whole city. Very good, still 50-cent fares obviously, so quite cheap, as Queensland is currently. We'll see how long that lasts. But yeah, as far as public transport goes, buses, and they're okay. I don't think they're always on time, but Australian public service is not really on time that often. Yes, we do have public transport. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Families, I guess. Is Toowoomba good for families? I think so. I think there's a lot of outdoor activities here for you and your kids to do. Especially mountain biking. It's pretty big here, or just hiking. There's a lot of parks, obviously, as I've said before. So there is a lot of activities to do. I think family life out here would be pretty damn good. There are so many schools here. Another question in this section is, what are the top schools in Toowoomba? I have no idea, and I'm not even going to look it up. There is that many schools here. Yeah. I guess Grammar's pretty good. Maybe Downlands. I don't know. You'll have to find some research on that one yourself. All right, real quick before I move on to the next one. Where do the locals shop? So you know, we've got two major shopping centres here. One is Clifford Gardens, two is Grand Central. I think pretty much everyone shops at Grand Central. Like Clifford Gardens is kind of turned into like the old people spot. So if you're like over 50 or over 60, maybe you should shop there. It just seems like that's how it's gone now. Like all the shops in Clifford's is pretty much more catered to your older generation. There's still a Coles and Woolworths in there, of course, but yeah, definitely older generation Clifford Gardens. Everything else is in Grand Central. Definitely a big spot, Grand Central. Huge shopping centre, absolutely huge. What is the food scene life? The cafe life here is unreal. We usually go to a cafe every second weekend and try out a coffee and cake and stuff and food, whatever. Every cafe we go to here is so good. There is just so many cafes here, so many food places, so many restaurants. Toowoomba is huge on food, it really is. I want to name a couple, like I think it's Mosaics. Used to be called Fusion Plus. I'll leave a link here. Probably the best Mediterranean food in Toowoomba, or Greek food, or whatever he does. It's so good. Alatar is really damn good as well for like your Middle Eastern food. There's lots of Chinese places here, lots of Japanese places here, and they do really good food. There's so many fried chicken spots here. There is actually a lot of food here if you actually think about it. Not going to name all the best spots or cafes. I'll leave a couple here in the link, not the link, in the box right here. But yeah, the food life here is unreal. Anyways, let's get out of here. Alright, hey guys, I'm here in Laurel Bank Park, if you want to know. This is like one of the main flower spots other than Queen's Park. I think this one's better though, because you've got that huge lookout, all these flowers. There's so much here, it's pretty cool. So next one on our list here for questions is the travel and tourism bit. This is only 2 questions in here, real quick ones. How far is Toowoomba from Brisbane? Hour and a half drive, it's only like 125 k's. Maybe hour 40 to the actual centre of Brisbane, like Roma Street and stuff, but still not that far. So it's pretty good for international airport wise. You're only about an hour and 30 minutes from an international airport, so that is really why I like it here, because I like traveling and stuff. Not that we do it that often, but yeah. What's the best time to visit is probably like 3, maybe 2 weeks ago, when the weather was like sitting at 20 degrees for a while. Now it's up around 30. It's a bit hotter, but it's still pretty good. So probably like now, like September, October is probably the best time to visit. Anyways, we'll probably go over to Queen's Park and see what flowers they got left over there. Everything's starting to die off a little bit, but yeah, there's so many colors here. These flowers look cool. There's like little ornaments and stuff. Usually that field there is last year it was dinosaur themed. I'm not sure what theme it is now. I couldn't really tell. But yeah, anyways, let's keep moving. Right, getting around. Is Toowoomba walkable? Absolutely, I'm walking right now. If you want to walk from like one side to the other, you're probably looking at, shit, it's a pretty big walk. Hour walk maybe, from like Glenvale all the way to Mount Lofty. It's a fair sized walk, but you can walk pretty much everywhere around Toowoomba. Alright, are there Ubers in Toowoomba? Yes, there's Ubers, there's DoorDash, there's Uber Eats, there's DD. All of them are here, so yes, everything's here. Is there an airport in Toowoomba? There is, but it's not really, it's not worth doing because it's so expensive. But yeah, you can fly from Toowoomba West, which is about 10 minutes out of town, and you can fly kind of anywhere. You can fly to Brisbane. I wouldn't want to pay the $1,600, but yeah, there is an airport here, but it's not like a domestic airport. It is and it isn't. It's too expensive to be. Alrighty guys, I've made my way to Picnic Point, right up on the edge of the escarpment here. Right behind me over there is Tabletop Mountain, so you can actually climb that. You do it down a road that direction. I think it's down South Street or Long Street, one of those, and you go right down there and you can get to the base of it pretty much and walk up it. It is quite a tough walk though, I will let you know that now. So next on here, jobs and economy. Righto. What industries are big in Toowoomba? Agricultural is huge here, and also health. So hospitals, there's a brand new hospital going in, and there's going to be a lot more jobs here. But yeah, health is big here, and agricultural is obviously huge, being out west a little bit. And also warehousing. Warehousing is really big here. Hopefully this wind isn't too bad. Is it easy to find work in Toowoomba? I really think it is. It is. I moved here with barely any qualifications. I actually had none other than a car license, and I passed in grade 12, and I found jobs very easy. And I've made my way through different jobs to get to better jobs and get more pay, obviously, and I've had no issues doing that over time. So I think getting a job here is very, very easy. You just got to be open-minded and open to pretty much, any line of work, and you will find a job here comfortably, I think. Comfortably. Real estate and moving is our next topic. Our house prices rising in Toowoomba. Before COVID, they were pretty decent. I think they were around 400,000, 300,000 for a house. Now it's 7 to 8, I'm pretty sure. It is pretty expensive here now. Obviously still not as expensive as Brisbane or any major cities, but yeah, still pretty expensive. You can move out of town a bit. I think like Gowrie Junction's pretty good, or like beyond Westbrook, out that Southbrook and stuff. I think you can still get pretty good houses. There's a lot of houses going up here, so maybe it'll come around. Is there much rental availability? I think so. I think it's getting better. The rentals are have kind of dried up a lot since the housing boom, or whatever you want to call it, the destruction in our economy. But I think finding a rental here still isn't too difficult. I haven't had to do one. I've been in the same place for 8 years, and yeah, but I do have friends who have moved quite conveniently and comfortably, so I don't think rentals are too bad. I'll find out in February. I'm probably going to move from our place. And finally, events and culture is our final topic. What festivals happens beside the Carnival of Flowers? I'm not sure. I can't think of any, to be honest. Obviously there's a heavy metal festival coming here, which is Park Waves, which will be sick. But other than that, I can't think of any. I did ask ChatGPT this question, and it said Toowoomba Busking Festival. Don't know what that is. Languages and Culturals Festival. Never heard of that. Christmas Wonderland. I think I have heard of that one. You can actually they actually put an ice rink down in the middle of town there, and you can go down and ice skate. That's pretty cool. But yeah, that's about all ChatGPT told me, and I can't think of any more. So yeah, not sure. Final question on here, is there nightlife in Toowoomba? I'm not a big nightlife person. I don't go out and drink or anything like that. But there are quite a few taverns and pubs. I do know people who do go out and they think it's alright. I think the nightlife's still going alright. I think there's like 4 or 5 places you can go, but it's not what it used to be, I think, is what people say. But I think nightlife is just dying off everywhere. I don't think many people are doing it too much anymore, to be fair. So anyways, there are all the questions and answers I have for you. Hopefully I went over all the topics quite comfortably and well. What better spot to finish this video than up here at Picnic Point with this incredible view. There is lots of views like this around. You can actually go up to Prince Henry, which is over that direction past Redwood, walk through Redwood and stuff as well. There's a lot of outdoor stuff to do here. I know I kind of glimpsed over the things to do here, but there is so much outdoor stuff, so much hiking, biking, mountain biking, cycling, stuff like that. It's heaps of stuff. There's loads of sports here. I have another video explaining about what Toowoomba's like to live in as well, and that pretty much explains a lot more things to do here. Obviously there's a link below for that. Anyways, if you're new to this channel, I would appreciate you subscribing. That would be awesome. Follow me around. We're going overseas a few times a year, maybe once. I don't know. The price range of stuff is getting quite difficult to do, but yeah, anyways, if you like this video, leave a like. If you learned something, make sure you do leave a like, leave a comment if I got something wrong. At the end of the day, this is kind of like my experience, obviously, and did I get things wrong? I don't know, but anyways, yeah, anyways, I'll see you next time. Cheers, legends.